Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to build the Pika Filament buffer. I couldn't find any guides online on how to do this other than the official assembly guide. It seemed reasonably simple, but there was no videos out there and it was a lot confusing and there's no CAD models. So here we go. You can see we've got most of the parts. I've already assembled a few of the buffers just to make sure I know how to do everything. So you'll need one of these for each lanes. I've made a mess. Front and back panels. The front panel has this removable mesh. You can do that in different colours if you wish. I did print mine. My frame, all of these grey parts are in ABS. However, I have more colours in PLA, so my buffers are in PLA. There are a few parts where you'll need to do heat set inserts, so we'll bring in the tool. Over here. No. I already have those, never mind. You can do this with just a screw and a lighter at the tool, so I may as well use it. Each of these has three, one in the top and one in each side. So we'll get those installed. And there we go. We have 9 of these. I'm aware the filament ERCF is now only 8 channels by default, but this was only released with 9. I may create an 8 channel and host it on my linkables. I'll put a link in the description to that. Each of the individual buffers needs one heat set in the back. These are of course M3. Okay, so we'll start with assembling the main body. You want your back panel and one of your buffers first and foremost. Everything has an arrow. I don't know if you can make that out there. That arrow always points to the back. This piece is not sided, so there's no arrow. And to do this, we'll need M3 by 8. I believe M3 by 10 also fit. We'll install one of those quickly. Now, the side panels have these latches. You need to make sure that you release these. On my printer, they printed solid. Quick slip with a knife and they now work. There are arrows on these too, but they're in the middle. So those also point to the back. And the latch should go on the inside. So this one goes here. Again, M3 by 8. And this one. Again, follow the arrows, M3 by 8. You will notice the back bracket overhangs. That's because it has mounting holes on each side. I believe there are a few of these different brackets you can find, but we'll go with the official setup here. So once you have those 3 sides on, you can take your back. There's no mesh on this panel, purely because your end buffer gives you that mesh. I don't actually see any reason why you couldn't print 2 fronts if you wanted to add the extra mesh, but I didn't, so here we go. These ones are threaded into the plastics, so a bit more quickly to get started. Needs to go in. You may have seen already that I've gone through all of the buffers now. I started with the cottontail. It didn't work in my setup because accessing the back of it was a pain, and it's more suited to people who just want to load up their favourite filaments and leave them. I'm constantly printing something in a different colour or different material, so it just doesn't work for me. This one, the Pika, as far as I'm aware, is the only one that's designed for my use case. So it's quick and easy to swap them out. I'll demonstrate that once it's fully assembled. But it's also one of the easiest ones to build, although it does have quite a few different screw sizes and heat press inserts. And annoyingly, I've now built one of everything. So that is our first part of the buffer and the back panel installed. Now it's just a case of take all of the, I think they're called rears on the build materials, but you can just simply slot these in. And now we'll take the front panel. You'll have to excuse my little bit of damage because I'm full and I rested my heat gun on there. I'll probably reprint that at some point. Again, them 3x8s, these ones thrown into the plastic. So there and there. And once this is done, that is the body complete. Other than the extra screws, which you'll definitely install in yours. Right. And I believe that is our last M3x8. There's the body complete. You can mount this on the wall, upside down. Not sure you can get it inside out, but you could try. So we'll just set that aside for now. And next, we'll look at the buffers. A quick explanation about why these are better. So you can see here, this will simply drop in. When I put it the right way. Lock into place. In, it locks in. They're fantastic. You can see on the front of here you've got your spool pointing down to your Enraged Rabbit, or any multi-material setup. So your filament comes from your spool into here, pokes through the little hole in the wheel, and then you can simply 1, 2, 3, however many you need. I believe 5 loops is the amount that has been tested with these. I've yet to try, but 5 loops on this is quite a lot of filament. And then simply, once you finish your last loop, you can pull your filament out, feed it through the hole, through your magnet, down your bowline, to your carrot feeder, or multi-material setup. These magnets are 10mm by 3 hole magnets. Fantastic for this, they're perfectly strong enough. They're never going to just fall off. So that's what we'll be using. There is a way, a model file for this where you could have a magnet on both sides. I chose not to, only because I thought they'd be a pain because they hadn't showed up when I started printing. Live and learn. The 2 magnet setup's probably much better. So let's build a buffer. So we've got a heat press in the back of there. We'll start with the handle. These ones are, again, I'm pretty sure you could use M3x8, M3x10 even, but I'm going M3x6 because I have them. These just simply screw into the plastic. And that is done. Next, we need some M3x6. Again, probably M3x8 would work as well, but I had these to hand. These need to be flathead countersunk screws, as these sit in the main body of the buffer and will interfere if you use the cap heads. So some pink filament on there, that's so annoying. There are some little notches in the bottom. Depending on how good your printer is, they may or may not line up. Mine do, thankfully. And these simply go here. And they've got the wrong. Again, screwing into plastic. Not a big deal. Just take a little getting started. But it's important to make sure that these sit flat, because these will be interfering with the rest of the system if they sit proud. There we go, that's the back. You will print a wheel. There'll be 608 bearings in there, just standard skatable bearings. Depending on how tight your tolerances are, you can push these in with your thumbs. Or what I like to do, I don't have it here, but there is a bit that you can, like a washer and an M5, M8 nut either side, and then tighten it up, pulls it down nice and square. It sits in there beautifully, and that just sits on top. But we'll leave the wheel for now. The next part, probably should have cleaned up some stringing, is this part of the buffer. And for this is where you need the tiny M2 self-tapping screws. 6 of these on the wall. 1, 2, 3, 7 of these, which go in the back here. Let's get some more of those. And another bit, again, this is the most annoying part, these constantly changing bits. And these simply screw through the top of the buffer and into the lower half. There is a small hole in the lower half where this screw goes into to get you started. However, you can just align the hexagons. These ones take a bit of force. So finally, we take our wheel, just went like so. That little connector goes in there, and now the wheel takes in M3 by 12, and that's going into a threaded insert that we inserted earlier. And if you're anything like me, you'll cross-thread it, spin the insert, and then have to reprint the back. It's quite annoying. Okay, and if you tend to drag, they still work fine with it, like so. Sometimes they drag, sometimes you'll get an absolutely perfect one, but it may loosen up over time. You could loosen the screw a touch if you wanted. However, bear in mind these don't turn that much, or at that speed. So as long as you can move it and it runs on the centre bearing, that is everything you need. Now, we have magnets. I forgot the magnets. As I said earlier, 10 by 3. Now the repository for the Pika says that most places will send you 9.5mm magnets, not 10. Obviously, mine came with 10. Again, I had to reprint. So, for continuity purposes, we'll make sure all of these are the same. And in our magnet side, push these in. They are very tight fit. That might be better doing it by hand. Perfect. Use a tool of some kind. Or the table. Table also works. And there we go. One very wonky magnet. Perfect. So there's our magnet in that side. I don't think the orientation really matters that much. However, this is the exit. So I decided to follow the chamfer, assuming that it's going to push off. And obviously on this part, we want the chamfer that way. Now our magnet's stuck. Oops. So this way around. Press. This one's far too big. So these are my most used tools. Brilliant for pulling things in square. As you can see, got that magnet straight in there with these. Highly recommend getting a pair of these type pliers, and then simply clip, and you can square it off once it's on there. So yeah, that's that part done. And finally, we want ECAS connectors. Again, these are a big pain to push in. So I use my favourite tools. Simply grab, pinch, in, and one in here. And they apply good, even pressure in a downward direction, which gives you a perfect fit with your ECAS connector, which fits on there. And finally, one more for the back or front, whichever way you orient it. This one, simply push in by hand, apply some pressure until you get the click. There we go. And that's that completed. Ready to accept filament. Load it up, send it out. And here's my backwards Pika. It's lovely in there. And this is how they'll sit. Whether you have it on the wall, ceiling, you can quite easily pull out whichever one you need. And there's no limitation, you don't only pull to there, take it all the way out, put it down, load your filament, put it back on the wall. I need to print several more colours, as you can see, but that's my demonstration on how to assemble a Pika. Now I'm going to put this together the right way and put all the screws in it. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe. I'll put links in the comments to all of the bits that you need, such as the magnets. Obviously there'll be UK links and Amazon affiliate links. That really helps me out if you guys purchase through them. Okay, here you can see the completed Pika buffer, along with a few of my multicolour prints up there. And I'll just show you quickly how to load. So here's one I emptied earlier. So we feed our filament from above into the side with the spool, although I don't think it would matter if you wanted to go the other way. Obviously you can remove this entire thing, and how we do it is we simply, there's a little hole in the wheel, and we load our filament in there, and then ensuring that this stays reasonably taut, you can simply spin the wheel. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I guess 6 on mine, because I have quite a long reverse burden. And what you want to do next is simply pull out the filament from the wheel and then load it into the hole at the bottom. It's quite handy, you can put your thumbs through there, and now it's loaded into the Pika. That's all there is to it, really. Obviously at this point you'll load it into your multi-material system of choice. For me it's the Enraged Rabbit. And that's it, it's done. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it proves helpful in your filament buffering journey and that you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I've got a few exciting projects coming up in the 3D printer space with a few high profile companies that I'm very excited to share on the channel. Thank you for your comments, subscriptions and likes so far, and I'll see you in the next video.